Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I want to give a special thank you to everyone who had left comments or reached out privately through DMs or emails or whatnot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. My prayer is once the media has stopped covering this, that we all continue to do what we need to do behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, however you feel most comfortable, to continue to have a voice and continue to put an end to these systemic problems in racism that we face today. And so I just want to say thank you everybody, thank you. So today's video is something that I mentioned that I will be bringing with you today. I'm so excited about it. This is one of the things, as if you saw my video, you know, May for me, I didn't make a ton of things, but what I wanted to do for this channel is to make sure I bring content to this channel that I know either people have emailed me about, DM'd me about, or left comments about, especially as it regards to plus size sewing and just different things that they want to be able to do, sewers want to be able to do, but don't necessarily see it in maybe the big 4 commercial patterns. And so that's why in May I share with you my go-to plus size pattern companies and why I like those pattern companies. They're both indie, Cashmere and Rebecca Page. So make sure if you did not see those videos, you go back and watch them. And then we went virtual shopping with Eloquy, and so many of you enjoyed that. And yes, I will continue to bring that content out. Try my hardest to remember to do that every quarter. But yeah, you'll get another video from me probably closer to the fall with that type of virtual shopping and then pattern picks. And then you know that I shared with you my mood board, and I picked all the patterns and everything like that. And so yes, very excited about it. And then I also shared for those who have asked, and I see that it's getting a lot of views too, so thank you for all of that. But for those who enjoyed the video for PDF plotting, I walked you through how to order from PDF plotting, and also share with you a couple tips that you should recognize when you are ordering from PDF plotting. And then finally I share with you how I trace my patterns. By all means, it's just one of many ways you can trace your patterns, but I did share because I do get a lot of questions about that. And I also have gotten questions, and this was a video I did, and I'll link it up here in the iCards. I did that quite a while ago. How I actually store my PDF patterns. It has not changed at all how I store my PDF patterns. And so I will go ahead and link to that video. It's maybe a year something like that old, but I know I did get that question when I did my PDF plotting video. And so go ahead and check that video out if you want to know how I store my PDF patterns. So today I'm so excited because, again, this is something I have been thinking about, and I have my notes because I want to make sure I stay on track. I'm not sure how long this video will be, so go ahead and pull up your chair and your drink of choice, and yeah, enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, or have it playing while you're sewing. You don't have to necessarily look at me but go ahead and have it playing in the background while you're sewing or doing something else. But anyway, and do stay tuned. Wednesday I have my haul. It's a huge haul, and that is one that, yeah, that's a pretty big haul coming up on Wednesday, so I'm excited about that as well. But anyway, for the month of May, I also have had time to kind of reflect on some other things I wanted to sew up. And so the Eloquy and the mood board sewing videos that I share with you gives me a nice set of projects that are just there when I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to sew next? Look at my mood board. I have my Eloquy, everything printed out. That I know that I said I wanted to sew those Eloquy looks. So it's different things because it's it takes time to source fabrics, the specific fabrics that I want for different looks. So in between all of that sourcing, there are other projects that I will be working on besides those, but those really help kick off and help me hone in on how I want the content for the channel to be. And based on the feedback that I get, based on the views that I get a lot of views on anything that's related to plus size sewing, patterns, different things like that, adjustments, stuff like that. And I'm still learning. So as I go down this path, you all will go down the path with me and learn with me, because I do appreciate the comments and suggestions that you all leave, and so it helps me, so then I can in turn help others. And so yeah, I greatly appreciate it. So May, not only was I able to sit back and think about, okay, how do I want to kind of hone in the content on my channel? And so that is through plus size sewing, plus size fashions, ready to wear looks that you want to recreate, using, if you're plus size and you want to use your, for some people can use commercial patterns. For the most part, I use indie patterns because they are more size inclusive. You already know my go-to are Cashmere patterns and Rebecca Page patterns. But there are other indie companies that do have extended their size range to include more plus size, friendly sizing and different things of that nature. And so that's, while I'm saying I don't want to call this a channel update, but it's more of a channel focus, because by all means the patterns that I use, non-plus size people can still sew from them. You know, that's not really the point. The point is for those who see me and I get a lot of this, I think I'm your size. I believe we're the same size. I believe we have similar tastes or styles and different things of that nature. I want to be able to help those individuals even more. I'm still going to be doing collaborations with people in YouTube, other sewists, and I have a couple coming up in the fall where, okay, they're not plus size, but we're going to use the same pattern because the pattern range is broad enough that I can make something from it and they can too, and then you'll be able to see how it looks in that process on 2 different body types. So I'll still be doing stuff like that, but I will say the focus will be on plus size fashions, ready to wear looks that we can recreate, using our patterns, how we're going to go about doing that, and just some things to look out for. I will also be talking about, I will have a separate video talking about places where you can buy fabric online in wider widths. Some of the places I like to shop that, because you've heard me say this many times, in being plus size, even though patterns are, have, you know, larger sizes and things that they offer in their patterns, do know those pattern pieces get wider and wider. And while for some people can say, oh, you can really squeeze this out of a yard or whatever, if you're plus size, and that's not always the case. And so I want to be able to share with you some online fabric stores that I have shopped at that have wide width fabric that you can consider purchasing from, that I think are really good places that you might want to look. Now, by all means, you can use 45 width, 50 width fabric and do panels and different things like that. But for me, for the most part, I try my hardest to stay away from fabric with that's that narrow, just because it just gets frustrating trying to figure out how to piece this together, because my pattern pieces are wider, you know what I mean? And so but in some instances I do. So but yeah, I will have a video about that coming up soon as well, so I'm excited to share that with you. When I do talk about patterns here going forward, and call me out if I miss it, miss doing it, but I get this question a lot. Fabric that I have chosen for a particular project, why did I choose that particular fabric? Can you explain the different type of fabric that you use for a project. I will do the best I can with that. I have resources that I'll pull out and help explain, because I'm not a fabric expert by no means, but I have, what I did do is decide to pull out, and let me grab it. One of the things I had gotten away from, but I am going to start back to doing is, and I shared this a long time ago, actually you'll see it in my pattern organization book. I have a swatch book of fabrics, and I started this in the beginning of my sewing. I see some of these notes are from 2017, so this is 3 years ago even. I would cut fabric swatches of the fabric I will order and have the labels in there and everything, so I knew what it felt like, what I liked, what I didn't like. I mean, from doing this, I simply discovered I'm not a huge fan of ITY knit, you know, stuff like that. And so I have pulled back out my swatch book. I have pulled back out my swatch book, and I recently purchased some fabrics. I will be swatching and putting their descriptions and everything inside here. And I'm gonna make sure I keep this near me going forward. And then, and you'll see this in my haul video. Okay, I had to grab that. So besides having my swatch handy, so I can go over and share with you for different projects the type of fabric I've used and what it's similar to based on what I have in my swatches. The other thing that I will be doing and helping you all with as well is the mixing colors. So and this is not colors that I'm not talking about colors that look good on my skin tone. I pretty much know what I like, even though one day in the future I would like to get my colors done. I pretty much know what colors look good on me for the most part, and how I feel in them, and prints, and if it's better for me to have prints on the top or bottom of my body. But again, that's something you'll have to again play with, figure out what looks good on you. It's a lot of trial and error. It really is. It really is a lot of personal trial and error of what you personally like to see. But one of the things I've always wanted to do or have in my stash is a mixing color guide. And so is one of my purchases for the month of May that I picked up. And I was reminded of this because I'm in Carol's sewing group. If you follow her, what is her Instagram? I think it's NC. I'll put it on the screen. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But anyway, she had posted about this a few months ago, and I kept forgetting about it, and I was like, yes, I need to get that. But at least this color wheel, you can, and I'll go over this during specific makes and colors. If it's not a print or something like that, or if I'm mixing a print with the solid or something like that, I will have this color wheel and show you how to use the color wheel to be able to match up specific colors, because that's what this does. You actually can pick a color, turn this wheel, and it'll show you the complementary color, and then on the back it goes into even a little bit more detail where it'll show you they call it complementary colors, split complementary, triad, different things like that on the back. And so it's a really helpful guide if you're trying to figure out what color matches maybe a main color, or maybe you have a print and you want to pull out that print has a main color that pokes out. It might be like here, the main color here is this blue. It says it's blue, but it looks purple to me. But I remember this here fabric. But this, and I'm wearing McCall 7121, but the main color is blue. I might go to my wheel for blue and then pull out, say I have this is a top. This is actually a maxi dress, but say it's a top, and that's my main color. Let me go to it. I'm gonna call it violet, because to me, the color I have on fits more into this spectrum. But then it gives you, if you see here, it gives you the color that will go with that. So say I want to make some bottoms to go with this or something like that, I can add, it says adding red. Then you turn the wheel, say you want to add, in here is yellow. and then it has this brown, you know, so I can make some that shade of brown linen shorts if this was a top, and it will go with it, you know, stuff like that. I'm gonna bring to the channel to kind of help everyone. And obviously you don't have to be plus size to do these couple things I'm talking about, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. And so and then the other thing is, because I've talked about this, I am on the weight loss journey, so you will be on this journey with me as I continue to slim down and continue to lose weight during this process. And so yeah, so for those who are on the weight loss journey, this is not a rah-rah. For those of us who know you need to lose weight for your health, not just for your looks to anything external. No, it's about internal and your well-being. Continue to do that, but during this process you can still dress cute, still look fashionable, and create those looks that you enjoy, even if you're on a weight loss journey. So yes, let's all do this together. The other thing is when we're the types of patterns that I'll be looking at. I've already mentioned that yes, it will be a lot of indie patterns that I'll be looking at. There will be some plus size patterns, but regardless of big 4 indie that I have in my stash that I'll be using and sharing with you in different projects and stuff like that. One of the things I want to be clear about, and this is why Cashmere specifically was one of my go-to pattern companies, is because do know, depending on your size, and you guys know all the time, this is a lot. She is full, and I recognize even some pattern companies, be it indie or big 4, that have cup sizes, even if it goes up to a double D, that does nothing for me. And especially when some of these pattern companies, and I've seen it in indie and I've seen it in mainly I've seen it in the big 4, and maybe you all seen it too. They may have, oh, it has cup, this pattern has cup sizes up to a D cup and all of this, but it caps out at a full bust of 48, a waist of 45, and a hip of 49. Who is that fitting? No. So we want to be mindful of, I want to be able to share with you true patterns, and I'll test them. If you have some you want me to even test and say, hey Natita, is this really a good plus size pattern to use? I might have it in my stash, or I'll test it. Let me know. Leave it in the comments, send me a DM, whatever. I'll test it. But for the most part, do know, just because a pattern says it has D cups and all this different stuff does not mean it is especially when you take into account the measurement of the full bust, the waist, and the hip, does not mean it's going to fit. And so you all know I do not believe in grading up a pattern for it to fit me. If it's not in size range that's suitable for me, I'm not messing with it. And so why frustrate myself? There's so many pattern companies out here that do have patterns that come in my size range and that I can work with. What I am about is grading between sizes, because even with a Cashmere pattern, Rebecca Page pattern, even if I get, and you all, I've shared this with you already, even if I she had her Cashmere actually goes up to a GH cup, which I love, but you all know, even with that, I still have to make adjustments. So it's I'd rather use a pattern that, okay, I fit in the size range, that's great, that's good, but you still may have to make some adjustments. You may still have to move a dart, you may still have to do some tweaks around your if you have gaping neckline. You guys know I've talked about this. I did a video on it, how to fix a gaping neckline if you have it, how to fix how to do the narrow shoulder adjustment. I still have to do that do adjustments on those patterns, because remember, they're not, and do catch, Cashmere has been putting up more videos on their YouTube channel, so go over there because she talks about full bust adjustments, stuff like that. But I still have to make some of those adjustments, because remember, the patterns aren't made for you specifically unless you're drafting your own patterns, but they're made for the masses to be able to use. You still will have to, in some instances, make some adjustment, be it maybe the waist height, dart movement, shoulders adjustment, gaping neckline, things of that nature. So I want to be able to encourage all plus size sewers, hey, we can do this. This is how you would do this. And like I said, as I'm continuing to learn, I will share what I am learning here on this channel. But I do want to encourage you, for those, it's so many of you who say, oh, I'm watching, I haven't made anything yet. I want you to make something. Don't be scared to make it. Just do it, because I'm not even where I want to be in sewing and creating and different things of that nature, but I've made a lot of bad things that didn't fit well because I just didn't know any better. I didn't know that I needed to make certain adjustments. I didn't know that about, you know, measurements and different things of that nature. So there was a progression of learning for me. So what I have learned, mistakes I made, I want to share with you on, especially if you're plus size sewing or plus size sewing for somebody else. I want to be able to share with you, okay, here's the mistake I made. You don't need to make that. Save yourself some energy. Here's what you can do as an option. And so I'm not the end all be all, but I do want to be a voice in the plus size sewing lane, and so that's what this channel will be focusing on. And so that's why I also have sew alongs on the channel. So I will link I'll put a link down in the description box. So if you want to go and look at the different sew alongs that I have done so far, feel free, go ahead and watch those. But if there is something in particular that you want to see as it relates to plus size sewing, I will be addressing things like, for me, you all know I always talk about this, my tummy area. That is, that actually I can just show you, hopefully you can see my tummy area. That is going down, but this area, sometimes I need to make sure that I fit as well, because depending on how I'm losing weight, this, as you can see, here's my waist right here, but this is around my stomach, but then my hips don't go out as far as this area. So it's different things like that that I take in consideration, that I need to take in consideration when I'm making things. So as best I can, I want to be able to share those adjustments with you, those different types of things with you that I do or that I have considered to address different things like that. So yeah. And so what's coming up on the channel that I am very, very, very excited about, a couple things I will be doing probably once every other month, something like that. We'll see how it goes, see how it's received when I do roll it out. But maybe once a month, maybe once every other month, I will be doing what will be known as SND Chat. I will be connecting with other plus size beauties in the sewing community, and we will just be doing a 10-minute chat. It will probably be something that I record probably via Zoom or something like that, but then it'll only be like a 10-15 minute video, nothing terribly long, then that I will bring to the channel, hearing their voice and about what they're sewing up, what they feel like their style aesthetic is, maybe what on their sewing table at this at that particular time, adjustments maybe for that particular project they had to make. It will be a plethora of different conversations that I am excited to bring to the channel, so look out for that. I have asked some of these beauties you've already seen here, either on YouTube or Instagram, that you see here on the screen, that I am excited about having this discussion with, and there are so many more that I'll be having a discussion with. If you know someone or want to be a part of that discussion, leave it down in the description box and I'm sorry, the comment section, and we can go ahead. I'll reach out to them, and yeah. But I'm thinking the first one will not be until, because now we're getting ready to round out the summer. I mean, we're just starting the summer and not everybody is out and about just yet, but I'm thinking the first one might not be to July or August. We'll see how people's schedules are, but yeah, that is going to be so much fun. I am definitely looking forward to that. I already talked about that I'll be doing collaborations with non-plus size sewists as well. So, you know, it's still all inclusive that way. But again, like I said, the focus on the channel will continue to be about plus size fashions, ready to wear looks that you can recreate using patterns, different things of that nature. But also what I will be doing is a monthly, and I should be able to do it this month. It will always be at the end of the month, I'm thinking, for the most part, because pattern releases usually happen in the first half of the month, that I've noticed usually happen in the first half of the month through about the middle of the month. So I'm thinking I should be safe to do this like during the last week of the month. But I will start doing monthly pattern releases that are plus size friendly, and that are size inclusive, and so you will start seeing that roundup from me on a monthly basis. So stay tuned for that. And then I will also for the makes that I have, I will also start doing styling those looks. And so you all know when I usually put up pictures, I always have on some costume jewelry or something like that, kind of show how I would wear it or style it. I will talk a little bit more about that also in videos, so stay tuned for that. And I do have projects. I am sewing. I know you guys are getting a lot of info type videos from me, but I am sewing. I do have plans for some specific loungewear. Many of you asked me about bras. Well, I see a lot of people are watching my bra videos that I put up last year, and so yes, I am going to be making bras again. I'm actually going to do I've been inspired by Myra, One So Sweet. When her and I talked, she showed me, she inspired me when she showed me about, we were talking one day about bras and whatnot, and how she reorganized the stash that she had, her findings and whatnot. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in the video. And I'm also was encouraged by Liz Sews. If you follow her, she's doing a bra series right now. And so I was like, you know what, I need to reorganize my stuff. I'm gonna do a video about it, because I am going to sew up some bras here again. And a lot of you want to see, want to know, you know, how my bra making have been going. It hasn't, because I hadn't made a new bra since last summer, that video that I shared with you. So yeah, we'll talk about it and what my experience with bra making. So yes, there will be actually a series specifically on loungewear coming up here soon, but I'll share that in a future video. But let me know, what else do you want to see? This is something I'm very excited about diving into. And so as I go through my weight loss journey and have different fit adjustments I'm gonna have to make during this process, I want to be able to share those with you and what I have done. I'm not one to alter clothes. You all know that. I'm not big on repurposing stuff. I just make stuff all over as opposed to repurposing. Having said that, there is one that I will be repurposing here very soon that I'll be bringing up on the channel this month, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, stay tuned everybody for Wednesday's haul. It is a big one. I thank you for those who hung in there for this video. I know it's a little bit of a long one, but yeah, I'm very excited for the content that will be coming up on this channel that I have decided to focus on and bring to you. I do have a DIY that's coming up after Wednesday on the following Sunday, next week Sunday, a week from today, and then we're gonna then you'll start seeing some garment makes in there. So don't worry, it's not all information, all hauls and different things like that. I am making things as well, working on some garment projects that I am excited to share with you. And so yeah, that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're looking forward to this content, thumbs up the video, thumbs it up. liking and thumbsing up the video really helps get my content out there and could pop up in recommendations for others to tune in. So do share it in your feel free to share it out there in the interwebs. So I greatly appreciate everybody. Stay tuned. I'm so excited about this new journey that we'll be going on, and not really new, but a little bit more focused, let's say that. So thank you everybody again for tuning in. You all have a blessed and fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you on Wednesday. Bye.